in its present financial state, would you say that the ECB is bordering on insolvency, given the fact that they've acquired so much sovereign debt from the periphery countries?
Well, if you look at the numbers very carefully, it's clear that they have a negative equity capital at the present time. If you mark their investment side to the market, there's a big debate going on in Europe whether central banks need equity capital actually or not. I have met some senior politicians just recently, and we debated that. And I think last week the Vice General of the Swiss National Bank, he gave a speech and he talked about that central bank could live without equity capital for quite some time. I'm not in that camp. I think this is a question of credibility. A central bank without equity capital or negative equity capital can remain solvent. Or liquid, can remain liquid. But if you want to be credible with your monetary activity, which is so important to the system, you have to have a solid balance sheet. I do not believe that the central bank without a solid balance sheet will be able to create credibility that is necessary in today's world.
Yeah. Will the ECB need to get more gold reserves from the various national central banks to increase the quality of its balance sheet?
That is a possible step. That is a possible step. I'm not sure the Germans will like that idea, nor do I think the Italians will like that idea. But it may be one of the steps that will come over the next couple of years in that process that I described. There will be mini steps here and there to introduce more credibility, to fix the situation as it is, but always lagging 2 steps behind reality.
Yeah, these are short-term fixes. These are not long-term solutions.
These are just temporary band-aids.
Yeah, and as a consequence, will the euro survive? If you keep band-aiding it instead of fixing it.
Yeah, I cannot tell you. I do not know the future. I've never been there. But the precondition for the euro to survive are not very good, because the economic issues at work are actually working in the other direction. And it would need a quantum leap forward by the Germans to really finance the periphery to a large degree to make it work. And I doubt that the German public is ready to allow its political leaders to make that step. And after the recent judge discussion, actually it is limited to make further steps in that direction, Germany.
Yeah, but the German people don't want to be anti-European either, do they?
Yes.
So it's a dilemma.
That is a dilemma, and that's the whole dilemma we are in. The European people like the euro. Big industry likes the euro, particularly in Germany. They like the euro. They have a home run, of course. Mm-hmm. But I do not believe that they all know what the final costs of keeping the euro will be. And that's the problem.
Yeah, and we won't really know that until we see the present situation and the various problems that arise. And if they do the wrong fix for a problem, ultimately that could create some serious issues.
Disruptions. Could create serious disruptions. And you know, the Germans obviously believe that the Italians and the Spanish and the Greek could do what the Teutons would do, and Germany would deflate, and you can do that with the German people, but I doubt that the periphery can do that. You would have to go through a major cultural change, and it will be so painful that there will be political backlashes and there will be government changes, and that's why I think you cannot come together to a final solution quickly. It will be a multi-year process with lots of pain in between and only baby steps.
Yeah, what does an investor do, to protect his wealth in this kind of a period of uncertainty? I guess you avoid the debt of the periphery countries. But do you want to have even AAA debt? You know, do you want to own the German government debt if it's euro denominated and there's an uncertainty with the euro?
No, you don't want to do that because the risk is very high that eventually they have to cave into some of the requests from the
inflationary pressure.
And well, I doubt that we will have a lot of inflationary pressure in the next few years, maybe later on. I rather think Europe will go down the Japanese way, that we will have no growth, maybe net a certain shrinkage over a longer period of time, over the next 10 years, and a decline in prosperity. Problems here, problems there, one crisis after the other. We have a less homogeneous population, of course, and some of the European cities could burn, no question. So it's a very difficult situation, but as an investor, you rather buy, if you want to buy bonds, which is probably not the most attractive investment for the next 10 years, then you rather stick to corporations that have their own house in order and solid and clean balance sheets.
And preferably a corporate bond that was even convertible in case the currency did go into a period of high inflation.
You stick with a corporation that is in your own country. Let's say for a German, stick with a German company that in case there would be national currencies again, you are in your own currency.